Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Lidu nishmasim mirosi rusva bas. Mordechai. That was for you, Yosef. His 3-year-old goes around the house saying, Lidu nishmasim mirosi rusva Mordechai. Please do not send them videos of your kids doing Lidu nishmasim mirosi. There's an emotional text message I got yesterday from Donnie Fine. He says, Eli, I'm sitting here in the sukkah with tears in my eyes as I just completed my first ever cycle of Shnai Mikra Vecha Targum. Well, yes, I did a large portion of it, maybe all of it, while you were reading the emails and sponsors and share. You're also the one who really got the idea into my head a year ago. I really wanted to experience a Simcha this year in Simchos Torah. And last year you talked about doing Shnai Mikra Vecha Targum. Please encourage the MDY guys again this year to do it. If even one shkutz like me, I don't like that word, but okay, he used it, I'm just reading his thing. One shkutz like me does it, it would be worth your while and take the time during share to discuss it. Again, thank you for all you do in and out of MDY, and please don't ever stop encouraging and inspiring us to be better Yidden. So yeah, we're coming now on Simchas Torah. A lot of people, it goes together with Daf Yomi. It's a daily thing, it's a weekly thing. It only takes about, for me, less than 8 minutes a day to do it. And I came up with a new system, which those who I asked said it's good. I said, I read the whole parsha in one shot, and then during the week, I make up 1 aliyah, 2 aliyahs a day with the Targum. But like this, I know I have an overview of the whole parsha instead of doing 1 aliyah at a time. For me, it works better, especially for the daf, to see if this thing's related. We need to get Mendy a cheer here. Shkoya. Rabbi Sai, I want to announce before I forget that this Motsei Shabbos change of plans again. Where the spirit, we do things like this, spirit of the moment. Motsei Shabbos, this Motsei Shabbos, Shir is in Yerushalayim. Chana Rabbah, Shir in Yerushalayim, at 9:30 in Yerushalayim. So for all those chutznikim, Americans that couldn't make it, it's tough to come on Moed when you have family and trips and stuff. So we're doing it in Yerushalayim, in Yeshivas, Nesivos, Aron. My brother-in-law's yeshiva. I put the address here because people had a hard time finding it on Waze. This is how you spell it. HaAyin Het, or HaAyin Het in Hebrew with the Rosh Tevis. It's an interesting name. So it's 20 HaAyin Het. It's next to the Kotel, that area over there. There's actually a parking lot for the yeshiva. There's about 30 spots there, but there's a parking lot right before as well. There's going to be food served, light food, pizza, pasta, wine. So, in the sukkah. Here is a video. Apple picking on Chalamoyed Sukkos.
Reb Eli, look, I'm here, apple picking. Look who I meet here. Look.
Gans himself.
There's the celeb from the sukkah with Lubavitch Rebbe and you. What do you have to say to Reb Eli? It's going on the shir tomorrow. Get ready. What are you going to say?
This is Eli Ganot.
Say good morning.
The guy put me up in a sukkah.
Gewaldig.
Okay. Apple picking in America. Today, I want to share with you. Some person came here. I didn't meet them. Gave me one of the nicest gifts I have ever received. You're not going to believe this. Look at this. This is, I don't know how many hours this took. Maybe hundreds. Each piece over here, they're small beads, hand-placed small beads done by a doctor. Could you zoom in on this? You lost what? Beads. You lost the microphone. So you don't hear me at all? Okay, anyways. Each one, here, let me see, maybe a little bit on an angle. Okay, and it came with a note. I'll read the note. Dear Reb Eli, please accept this token of appreciation for your Daf Yomi class that you have opened to Klal Yisrael. Your love for Hashem, His Torah, and His people is reciprocated. Thank you. Sincerely and respectfully, Dr. Luber, the internist. Yishkoyach Dr. Luber. The Koilol, no sponsor yet. The Masechta, Lili Nishmas is Baruch ben Moshe, Aron, and Lili Nishmas Moshe Elazar ben Nata Shalom and for the Hatzlacha b'chol Yonim of my children. The Masechta is sponsored by Jeff Rosner. There's only 12 days left to the Masechta. Jeff Rosner, zchus my son Yosef Simcha Chaim ben Torah Chana Refuah Shlaima. Amen. The rest of the Masechta, Ofishel Mitzva Motivators, Refuah Shlaima for Abraham Mנשה, Avi Mandelbaum ben Chana Brocha. And Paras HaChodesh, Li Nishma Zechariah ben Moshe, Paras HaChodesh. Second one, as a zchus, that Hashem should watch over me and ensure that I'm completely healthy and Moed Esrim. And one, Parnas HaYaim, Dan Rubinoff, in memory of my mother Chai Perel, Bas Yaakov Moshe HaKohen on her 33rd yard side. Rabbi said we have a lot of choshve guests. Come sit over here next to me, Tzaddik. Shalom Aleichem. Remind me your name. Hirsch Rosenberg from? Yerushalayim. You know, I'm going there. Come on, we'll see you there. What's your guy's name? You're from England? What's your name? Gordon Cooper. Yosef Cooper. Yisrael Cooper? Binyamin. You guys do the daf? All three of you?
He's the guy from the boats.
On the boat. Very nice. Psh. So you're going to be there when I get there to London? Of course. What? Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, no, that's right. Who else do we have here? Oh, that's the official Hasidic seat. You know it, right? What's your name, Tzaddik? How? Hesher? Baruch Yehida Tesher. From? Stamford Hill. Wow, that's heavy duty. He's one of the last surviving guys from Stamford Hill. What's going on with the video? Why does it look like that? It's Beseder?
It's okay, the Bible's okay.
Nothing to do. Who else? We have you two guys. What's your name? You don't want to say? You don't have to say. Here's the guys to me. Avrami Noe, and that's your brother? No. Shlomi from Motsei. Where are you learning Yeshiva here? Stam. Wow.
We came all the way from America this year.
Wow. All the way from America. Where's the video? How do you have video on him? No, get over here. Get over here. Could you get over here? Come, get over here.
He want to say his name.
Come. Kim, from Monty, New York. You gotta say Shalom Aleichem. It's Chol Moed. We have plenty of time. Nobody's in a rush. Shalom Aleichem. What? Shabbos. The next community Shabbos. So, what's your name? Noe. And you what do you do in Muncie? Electrician. So you together with the Yossi Klein, he's a plumber, electrician. You know, I was also an electrician. Shalom Aleichem. You bend pipe over there? No. Okay. Very nice. Okay, and we have, what's your name? I'm not going to be able to repeat your name. Eliyahu? Let's see you repeat it. Balakani. Yeah? And your son. Shalom Aleichem. From? Where are you guys? Flatbush, Muncie, London, and we had him. He was in my house even. All right. Oh, that's right. Rabbi Bodenheim himself. What's your first name? Alan. Bodenheim. Shalom Aleichem. The uncle from the. That's why you're here today. Okay. He's coming back. He's making a comeback. That's what he used to say. Givaldic. Well, we have a very big guest, Judah David. Isn't that? Rabbi said Judah David. You got to encourage him to stay and come. Okay. I do have to say some names here. Baruch Geffen, 36 shekel. David, Michael Berkovici, $5,000. Maybe spread out through the year. I don't know exactly. David Deitch, 100. Simon's, maybe it's every month, $5,000 a month. Who knows? Simon Stern, $10. Paul Charney, 18. Ari Greenstein, 18. Howard Leibowitz, 54. George Korn, 101. Duvi Dempitzer, 18. I see the end of the tunnel. There's only like another 100 names. Yeah? There's no sound on Zoom, Gary. He knows about it. Don't worry. They don't know what they're talking about. Of course, the sound. Moshe Abuba, 38. Harold Lichtender, 36. Andre Krieger, 100.
Now that he's finishing Nava Sedge, he's finished like the whole Torah right now.
Who?
Dottie.
Where's it? We just see your thing. Okay, we got to start the shir. Shlomo Gromit, 18. Hello, I'm announcing names. Nachum Seltzer, 101. David Pearl, 18. Moses Shapiro, 30. Whoever speaks, that's it. He's going to get a knas. Anybody want to try? Yeah. Who said that? Who was that? The new guy? No, what's his name? Noe from Muncie 101, he said. Yes, get over here, Noe. Get over here. The chutzpah sometimes is givaldi. I love it. No, it's beautiful. He wants to. It was great. Are you really donating? You go online, whatever. We'll see what you do. mdymonthly.com. Rabbi Sai, here we go. We're holding in a brand new Mishnah, sponsored by Moshe Cohen, the zchus for limit Torah and Kedina Tzlach and Parnassa. What's going on up there, Gershon? Gershon, can we start this year? Okay, so everybody has to be quiet, please, including people up there. I hear everything and it disturbs. Moshe Cohen, the zchus for limit Torah and Kedina Tzlach and Parnassa. Says the Mishnah. So we learned yesterday, there's no such thing as oinah. You can't charge too much for real estate. You charge too much, too bad. What else did we learn? We learned that if a woman sells a property that's worth 101 and she sells it for 100, the mechira is batal. Even though it's 1%, batal mevutal. Shuma dayanim. I think a lot of people are familiar with this Mishnah because we learned this extensively in Kiddushin. So if you went to yeshiva and you learned like the second parak in Kiddushin, this is a very familiar Mishnah. Shuma dayanim. It sounds very complicated and scary, but it's very simple. Basically, if a dayan or a bezdin sells something for more than a sixth, 16.6%, 16% more than its value, michram batal. So dayan doesn't go and pay the difference, whatever his mistake was, it's batal. Start over. So he has a shtos, 16.6%. He argues. The Gemara is going to say up until 50%. So if they made a mistake by 49% more than the price, batal, kayam. Everything is kayam, says Reb Elchanan. Why? And he gives a good reason. It's such a powerful reason that the Gemara says this is like an anonymous Mishnah. It's like this is the halacha. That's it. Also complicated words, but a very, very simple word. It's called hachraza. Igeres bikores beineim is a public auction. Hachraza. We had the word hachraza before. We're going to use it later. Now the Gemara, the Mishnah is saying it in a fancy way. If they put out, today they do in the newspaper, this and this piece of. They want to do a little building over here. They want to build here. They put it in the newspaper, right? That's what the chrazi, public. You announce it to everybody. Everybody knows it's going up for sale. Afilu machu shavim mana b'masayim. Even if they sold it for double than it's worth, or as the Gemara calls it, half. Or shavim masayim b'mana, or you gave half of what it's worth. Michram kayam. It's a good mechira. Why is it a good mechira? Because everybody knows about it. What happened to the screen? It's recycling? Okay. But you see this, Gary? This chart? Okay. So we're going to have like this. We have, the mechira is batal. All the screens are off. Why? The mechira is batal if the woman, she sells it, something that's worth 101 for 100. In other words, 1%, batal. The whole thing is batal. And if bezdin does it, we just said it, shtos. What about a shliach? Okay, so a shliach, according to Rashi, a typical shliach. Rashi says a typical shliach, not part of bezdin. No, right, I send a shliach. You and I make you a shliach. We'll see. Okay, I need to see it also first. Okay, we'll do it afterwards. Here, leave it like this. Now, okay. The table? Which table? The table. You could fix it afterwards, no? Erev Yantif. Erev Shabbos. Shliach kiman. So what is the three? We have three things here. We have the woman we know, anything above the price, even a mashu, 1%, Shalom Yisrael. Bezdin, 16.6%, right? A shtus, 16.6%. What about a shliach? So we have a machlokes, of course, Rava Omar Rav Nachman. Now pay attention. Both the machlokes is, what did Rav Nachman say? Rava says Rav Nachman said shliach kedayanim. A shliach, if I send you to do something for me, according to other Rishonim, it's the bezdin, okay. But a shliach, let's just call him a shliach. He's like a dayan. He has a leeway of 16.6%. He has a shtus leeway. So if he makes a mistake by 15%, it's good. Rav Shmuel bar Bisna Omar Rav Nachman said something else. Kalmana, there's no leeway at all. You make a mistake, the deal is over. Explains the Gemara, Rav Omar Rav Nachman a dayan has no personal benefit from it. So shliach also is not doing it for himself. He's not biased there. He doesn't care which way it goes. Look inside. What? Oh,
He's sitting in front of you.
I know. It's like, okay. I'm like all over the place. Now Jonathan has more material.
If the shlichus is bata, so then he wasn't kind of shlichus. Of course, he has investment in this.
Who cares? Why? Oh, you think he gets paid for it? He's not getting
If
paid.
he doesn't get paid, it's his name and his reputation.
No. I don't think that's a concern over here. No, it's not. He's not. Why? He doesn't care to sell it more or less. He doesn't have a personal investment over here, so give him some leeway. But with the woman, we have to be very careful. She's doing for herself. Let her be accurate. Rav Shmuel bar Bisna Amar Rav Nachman Kalmana Malmana Yichida. She's doing it herself. So what does it mean that she's doing it herself? So we don't know that she knows what she's doing. Ashliach Yachid, he doesn't know what he's doing. Lapuki Bezin the Rabbi, when you have three people that say that this is the price, they most likely know what they're doing. V'ilchasa Shliach Kalmana. The halacha is that a shliach has a halacha like almana. He has no leeway at all. He makes any sort of mistake, in the price, the deal is over. Umayshnim hadasnan. Rabbi Isai coming. I'm very excited. Moshe Hirsch, the guy that does the Aron Merkaz, here he is. Sent me a message yesterday. He said, when you talk about Trumas and Meisers, you like to do the demonstrations. Do a demonstration. I am going to do a demonstration. Can we get some screens on though? I need to see what's going on here a little bit. Okay, fine. But is it connected to these screens also, Gary? These have to be off? Yeah. But we're still recording. Oh, okay. As we had yesterday, the Mishnah. If I send out an agent, a messenger, I said, I have fruit over there, I want you to take the Trumas Umaisrus. He goes ahead, he doesn't know how much Truma to give. Truma, you could give as much as you want. You could even give one kernel for your whole produce. But there's different Gedarim. A medium amount is 2%. If you're very, very large, you give 2.5%. If you're a little stingy, you give 1.5%. He doesn't know what the Baal Bayis wanted, so he goes ahead and he does his own thing. So Rabbi Isai, because in honor of Moshe Hirsch and Aron Merkaz, I want to do a little demonstration here, because I myself wasn't so familiar with it. Now, here's the famous chart of Truma and Truma G'dayla. I did a little color coordinated based on this. So just to go over it again, because we're going to do, when you take Trumas and Maisos here in Eretz Yisrael, Bizman Hazeh, today, when you live in Eretz Yisrael, a lot of people do this on their own. If you go, let's say you buy vegetables from a store that, in a city that they don't take Trumas and Maisos and you want to eat, you have to do this. What do you do? A lot of people don't know what to do, especially the Olim Chadashim. So let me show you what we're going to do. We want to do 4 things. We're going to take 4 things. First thing is Truma G'dayla. That's what the Gemara is talking about now. That's the amount that goes to the Kohen. He gets approximately 2%. But it could be anything. It could be a nothing, a little tiny piece of a cucumber. The next thing is, he takes 10% of whatever's left over. Let's say he takes 1%, he has 99% left. He takes 10% of whatever's left over, and he gives it to the Levi. That's called Ma'aser Rishon, in red. Because this one's going to be dark blue, Ma'aser Rishon is going to be dark red, or red. The Levi, not you, the Levi, once he gets his 10%, he's going to take 10% of that, which is really 1% of everything, and give it to the Kohen again. So the Kohen gets your 2%, he gets another percent from the Levi. They're doing pretty well because they're getting 3%. They're only less than 1% of the population, and they're getting more than 3% of the produce, plus they get karbanas, they get matnas kehana. They do very well, the kehana. We discussed yesterday. And then, depends on the year. We are now in what year, Rabbi Isai? We just had Shemitah, so what year are we? We're in the first year. So year 135, you give Meiser 1245. 1245, you give Meiser Sheni. 3 and 6, you give Meiser Ani. 1245, we're in year 1. So we're going to take Meiser Sheni. So here goes. I brought this with me. And it's also on the charts. You don't really need to do this, but I'll show you how to do it. First of all, this is a cucumber. So we're going to take approximately 1% of this. Why? Because when it comes to, and there's a certain thing you say here, and it's mamish in these words. And I even changed the color from blue. It's blue. This is Truma Gdoila. Red is Meiser Rishon. Meiser Sheni. What? Okay. Oh. So, okay. I can do a. Oh, hold on. We'll get to there. So let's take about 1% of this. Here, take 1%. Okay. 1%. Now, here. Today, I took these pictures this morning. You have a full cucumber. We're going to take approximately 1%. Now, from this 1%, you got to do this. You got to take a tiny piece off for Truma Gdoila. It doesn't matter how much you take. And no kind is going to eat it anyway today. So you don't have to be large. This is going into the garbage. So you take a little piece off.
What do you do with the first piece? Hold
on. We're still there. I'm going to explain everything. This is the only thing we're concerned with. This is the piece that's going to go away. This you got to smash up and destroy. Because nobody can eat this. Nobody does eat this. This little piece is Truma Gdoila. Now this piece needs to be exactly 1%. Exactly 1%. Now, how can I make... Time out. No, it has to be exact. Now, let me explain. How can this be exactly 1%? I don't know how to measure. So what you say is... Time out. You say that I'm leaving 1% from this. Anything above the 1% goes to the Truma Gdoila. I'm leaving myself exactly 1% because that's how much I give. That's how much the Meiser later on is for the Levi. Now, here. One sec. What? I shouldn't have cut it off. This is pretend cutting. It's just l'saber's 9. Okay. Now, we'll explain. I'm going to explain. Hold on a second. Everything's going to be explained. In the cucumber, go to the regular screen. Let me just do with the laser. Okay. Here, right over here, we're taking 9% of the cucumber. 9%, we're not cutting it, we're not doing anything. We're saying that 9% on the softened side of the cucumber, from the arrow on, thank you, is going to go together with the 1% over here. So how many percent do we have together? 10%. That's the 10% that I have to give to the Levi. Okay? So I'm pretending I'm giving that to the Levi. That's called Meiser Rishon. Meiser Rishon. The second thing in the chart that we always see is Meiser Rishon. So the 9% and exactly 1% is 10% and giving to the Levi. Now I'm going to do the job for the Levi. We don't have a Levi here. I didn't give it to him. So the Levi has to take 10% of whatever he got and give it to the Chaim. That's 1%. That's this guy right over here. That's the 1% that's in the picture, the 1% that's in purple. It really should be maybe red. I was debating because it's 1 plus 9 equals 10. But it's purple because we're going to take that and make that Trumas Meiser and give it to the Levi. Oh, so now this piece right over here, you can't eat. It has to go to, it's for the Kohen. Anything for the Kohen, I can't eat, so I destroy it. When Shur says with axes, the Bezdin, the Badats, wherever they are, they destroy the stuff, you can't eat it. Now, the 9% that's left on my cucumber, I could eat, because it's my Rishon. A Levi could give it to Yisrael, or Yisrael could eat it. Great. So now we just took care of 3 things. Truma, Trumas Meiser, and Meiser Rishon. Meiser Rishon is the 10% you give, and the Trumas Meiser is what the Levi gives out of his 10%.
Now, 1% could be more. A lady is allowed to give the Kohen more than the other. It's just that it has to be a minimum of 1. If you
No, because my Meiser, my Trumas Meiser has to be exactly 1%. My Trumas Meiser, what he gives has to be exactly 1%. And Mamela, if there's anything more in this piece of cucumber that's more than 1%, it's going to go to the Truma G'dayla. Okay? Now, the next thing is we have to take care of Meiser Sheni. Today is the year of Meiser.
Short on the wording.
Yeah, how's it correspond to
Okay, fine. I'll do that. We can go back. Here. Take off. Then, and you say, Hayoiser me'echad, which means a little bit more. Me'echad me'meya sheishkan. Anything more than the 1%, hareyu truma g'dayla. That should be truma g'dayla, so that this part remains exactly 1%, and it's b'tzat tzafin. It's this part of the cucumber, the tzafin part of the cucumber. This is the darim part of the cucumber.
No, it's not tzafin of the piece you cut off.
Of the piece I cut off? Piece I cut off, okay. Of the piece I cut off. Here, it's tzat tzafin. So you mean this arrow is wrong, according to what you're saying? This tzafin arrow is wrong. Yeah?
Right. It should be on the
Eli,
case when the truth is lying.
it takes 1% to move. No, 1 second. Continue back to it. There's another tzafin.
There's another tzafin. Oh, okay, so maybe it's okay. Let's see. Every day he has to stump me, that guy. Now, that 1% that's in this piece right over here, and another 9% that's left on the cucumber, oh, b'tzat tzafin shel peros, that's a good arrow. Hareyu meiser rishon in red. That's the 10% I give to the Levi. One part of what I made meiser rishon, asui trumas meiser. That's the 10% of the 10%, and then we're holding by meiser sheni. Or meiser sheni b'dvarim shel peros, or if in tzarich, that's a nusach. If you're in the year 3-6, you do meiser oni. It's the same exact thing. Let's go back here. Oh, so now it's another 10% that I eat for myself. Meiser sheni is for me, but I have to eat it in Yerushalayim. So I take that, and that's on the darim part of the cucumber, but obviously it stays on the cucumber. Now, how do I get to eat the meiser sheni? It's meiser sheni. So I take a coin. Okay, this is 10 shekel. This is at least a pruta. I have to take a pruta of mine and be mechalal this part of the cucumber. This whole part has to go onto this money. I can do this a number of times until I use up the prutas in this coin. This coin I can't use. This is full of meiser sheni gedusha and shalom Yisrael. That's what it is. I don't know. I ask people that live here and live there their whole life. They don't know exactly. They say, "Oh, you say a nusach maybe." They don't know exactly. It's 4 things that we're doing here, huh? The coin you don't throw in Yamamelach. Yamamelach. What? What about beer? Beer, and which is throw it in Yamamelach. Yeah. A fifth?
Yes.
Where do you have the fifth? Yeah, okay. So on Meiser Sheni you have a fifth. It's true. You're right. I always forget to say that. On Meiser Sheni you have to add a fifth. Okay, when you mechal on a coin, when you transfer the kedusha, if you bring the fruit as is the Yerushalayim, you can eat the fruit. But if you're going to bring it, put it in a coin. Okay, have a wonderful day. Is the shir over now? It's kind of 9:30 in Nesivos Aron. Okay, let's go weiter. Now, Torah that's a balabais. Now, you see what you did, Moshe Hirsch, but it was givaldik. I don't know if we'll ever do it again. We'll come back.
They have the pruta. You don't have to hold the pruta.
That's what I do.
That's a great business. Let's start.
That's what they do.
Okay, great. Shkoyach. Rav Shmuel Bar Bisna, I have to say, I don't think I've ever done it. I don't know. I buy in a place that they always do Trumas Maestros, but I grew up, my father always did it, and I saw him doing it. I didn't know what he was doing. Now I know what he was doing. Okay. Now, so I sent the shliach, I said, do the Truma part for me. Torah that's balabais. You should try to figure out the guy is wealthy, he's not wealthy, what kind of guy is he, stingy, not stingy. Many days that is balabais. he doesn't know, he should give the medium shear, which is 2% of the entire cucumber. In those days that people were eating it, you have to give more. In nowadays, we don't care, it could be a mashu. If he went down to 1.5%, went up to 2.5%, truma, it's a truma. So what are we trying to prove here? So you see over here that a shliach, we're saying that a shliach, if he makes any mistake, a mashuhu, bye-bye, it's bottle. Over here you see a shliach, he go up, he can go down. The balabas didn't want him to give 2%, only 1.5%. It's still good. Says the Gemara, Hassam, Kivin they get the Torah by Ra, they get the Torah by Yosef. There's some that do like this, some that do like that. I thought you're a generous person. Over here, you value this property with a mistake. I don't want you to make any mistakes. This is in a sefer actually, as a Motsei Shahaya, but it's a Gevaldik Motsei. I love the Motsei. It's probably not a Motsei Shahaya, but a guy got a broch at a chuppah. They said the mechubed the Yotzer Adam. So he gets up there and he makes the broch achrita. So they start screaming, toast. He says, no, not a toast. That's the bracha that I deserve. I'm gonna make it as is. Okay, fine. Just thought toast. There's a toast. Tausa. I just don't get it. I was at a chasana. I didn't get anything. Okay, Omarlei, because he did my ratzin, Yishkoyach. Omarlei leiboilach lemitei. You shouldn't have made any mistakes. Omar Avunu Bar Chanina, Omar Rav Nachman. Halacha kedivri chachamim. That what in the Mishnah? That if Dayanim make a mistake, then it becomes bottle with 16.6%, whereas Reb Shimon Gamliel says it's not bottle, even much more than that. But Reb Shimon Gamliel says a great svara in the Mishnah. The Bezdin should have power. They should show what they have. So even if they make a mistake of 17, 20%, let them go. When Reb Nachman himself says the name Shmuel. When Yisoimim come to divvy up the Yerusha, Bezim Amidim Apitropos, Rashi says each kid gets his own apitropos, his own agent that's going to fight for him. Like this we know, let the guys fight it out between themselves. And each kid is going to get a perfect amount. Each kid gets perfect. Higdilu, but when the kids get older, these Yisoimim that are Ktanim, when they get older, they could protest their peace. Rav Nachman Didei Omar, but Rav Nachman, he was saying it in the name of his Rebbe Shmuel. He himself says, Higdilu ein yicholim limchais. They cannot make a machal when they get older. Why? Imkein ma koyach bezdin yafa. The imkein ma koyach bezdin yafa. So you see, Rav Nachman does say the svara of, look, you have to give power to the bezdin. So how come by us he doesn't say you have to give power to the bezdin? Says Gemara, Loi Kashya. By us in our Mishnah, where the Bezdin did more than a shtos, the toe. They made a mistake in our Mishnah. So if you make a mistake, they simply made a mistake. They miscalculated the property. So it's bottle. The toe, and when they don't make a mistake, then it's not bottle. As the Gemara, toe, of course, you shouldn't cancel it. They didn't make a mistake. So what are you canceling? A non-mistake? You don't cancel a non-mistake. The Yosem, he's saying, I don't want it here, it's perfect. Mine is worth $2,022.52. And so is my brother, $2,022.52. That's great. The value is identical to my brother, I have no problem with that. The problem is, it's in the wrong side of town. I have another field that I yarshin from my mother's side, that my grandfather, from my mother's side, I got, what? From my, I think Rashi says mother, no?
The grandfather from the mother.
Yeah, Aviimi. So I have a field over there. I want my second field to be right next to it. So one tractor plow in Shalom Yisrael. I don't want to take my tractor to the other side. So that's why I'm being moicha. He also Ravdimi Omar Maisav also Rebbe Kedivrei Chachamim. Rebbe, who wrote the Mishnah, he came and there was a Motsei Shahaya where Bezdin made a mistake more than 16.6%, and he said that you have to be mevatel it like Chacham. If he would have held like Reb Shimon Gamliel in the Mishnah, he wouldn't have been mevatel because it's only 16.6%. All the fun of Parta Benoy Shur Reb Elazar ben Parta, Ben Benoy Shur Parta Agadol. Kids of the whole family, their names were Parta. You see from here, you name after your grandfather. Imkei Makoyach Bezin Yafa. In other words, he's saying over Reb Shimon Gamliel Svara. He's yelling at Rebbe. How were you mevatel a mekach for a 16.6% mistake? You can go way more than that. Vehechzi Rebbe is hamaisa, and Rebbe said, "You're right. I'm taking this back." Rav Dimi Masni Hacha. Okay, that's how it was. The Rebbe actually took it back. Rav Savra Masni, the same exact thing. Rabbi say, "Mamash a freebie." Maisu Bikesh Rebbe Lasses. He wanted to. He thought he should do it, but even before he was able to do it, he decided to take it back. The Not that he did the story and he took it back, he didn't even do it. Let's say that there's a machlok. What does it mean? He took it back or didn't take it back? Mar Sovar Tobedvar Mishnah Choizer, that if a dayan makes a mistake, he makes a mistake in a Mishnah, you have to take it back. Because if a dayan typically makes a mistake, he heard the whole story and he made what he thought was a common sense decision. He made a mistake. What's the halacha? But he made a mistake. He has to pay it back from his own pocket, whatever the loss is. But if he missed a Mishnah, mefurish a Mishnah, everybody has to know Mishnayos. If he doesn't know the Mishnah, what's the halacha? Bottom. Rebbe didn't have to take it back, says the Gemara. Why? He made a mistake in his own Mishnah. The Mishnah that he wrote, he made a mistake. Why? Because in our Mishnah, but doesn't our Mishnah say two svaras, two shitas? We have Tanakama, we have Chachamim, we have Reb Shimon Gamliel. So what do you mean he made a mistake? The answer is, says Rashi, because Reb Shimon Gamliel is so powerful because he says a svara, he explains his idea. It doesn't stop. Oh, by the way, I forgot. My name is Eliyahu, right? I'm named after the Vilna Gaon. Today is the Vilna Gaon's yard site. So the shir should be L'li Nishmas, the Gaon of Vilna, the Gra, Vilna Gaon. Huh? The whole thing. Amud Aleph and Amud Beis. Okay. I'll just say, they say it again every year, I think. When the Vilna Gaon was nifter, on his deathbed, he held on to his tzitzis and he cried. And he said, in this world you could buy this mitzvah for peanuts. Not if you have tchelis, regular tzitzis, peanuts, and tzitzis. And then that's it. Once you nifter, you can't, there's no buying, there's no doing mitzvahs, chaperite as much as you can. Mar Sovar Tobit Var Mishnah Choizer, Umar Sovar Einoi Choizer. Okay? So Memela, that's the question here. Did Rebbe have to take it back? Or since he made a mistake in the Mishnah, he should have known that Reb Shimon Gamliel says a beautiful svarim, came HaKoyach Bezdin Yafa. You have to give power to Bezdin. And he didn't know that. So it's batal mevutal kafir da'ara. Loi. The Kulam Atabit Var Mishnah Choizer, everybody agrees to this concept. You have to go back if you made a mistake in the Mishnah. And Rebbe, no, the question is whether or not that's the story, that's the way it happened, or it didn't happen. Omer Rav Yosef. Amarta de Zbina, Achrayza asked me, when a woman sells fields for Mizoyna, says Rashi, for Ksuba, then the Yisayimim have to take responsibility. She's just doing them a favor, she's selling it for them, but at the end of the day, if those fields are owned by somebody else, so she couldn't sell, the Yisayim have to take a chrayis. And the same thing applies if the Bezdin sells it, achrayis yasmi. Pshita. What's the chiddush here? Almana leitzrichalei, you're right. When the Almana sells it, there's no chiddush, kitzrichalei, beidina, the chiddush is when the Bezdin sells it, mao, the same akuf Amud Beis, kol the zavim beidina, adaita lemeipaklei, when somebody buys from Bezdin, he thinks, oh, Bezdin's selling, everybody knows about it. I don't need an achrayis. I'm moichel the achrayis over here. Kamash malon. No. I'll think that he buys it without achrayis. Daf Kufam Beis sponsored. Last day? Wow, everybody's leaving. Givaldik. In honor of my Rebbe, my uncle Reb Elchanan Pressman, and as a zchus for a year filled with Mazel Baruch, Hatzlacha, Simchos and Parnassa. Huh? We did a freebie? As a zchus, to continue being able to support Torah and to finish Shas with Reb Eli, and a zchus for the Vilna Gaon. the Goy Mevilna, the Gra, Reb Eli Mevilna, whatever his name is. Reb Shimon Reb Eli. So it says in the Mishnah, we learned in the Mishnah that Reb Shimon says, if a dayan makes a mistake more than a shtos, more than 16.6%, Chaim, vat kama. What does it mean? Even if he made 100% mistake? Ad palgo. 50%. So this I understand very well. If they sold something that's worth 200 for 100, so that's 50%. This I have a little bit more trouble understanding. This is not 50%, this is 100%. Depends, I don't know. Maybe you look at it at the final thing, going backwards. Okay. The point is that if you sell something that for 200 instead of 100, or instead of 200, 100, it was worth 200, you go to 100, or it's worth 100, you go to 200, then up to 50%, the Bezin has koyach. I know, it sounds like 100%, but it's not. Because you start at the end, you go backwards, what? Yeah, but the Gemara says palgo. The Gemara calls it palgo.
They said 100 of the 200.
Yeah, it's 50 of the 200 when you're done. Kitzer, that's how the Gemara talks. I'm saying maybe not so much milabar, milagav, but it's a certain lashon. I've seen this before in these kind of sugyas. He does? The Gemara says it's 50%. So if you start at 200 and go to 100, that's 50%. But if you start at 100 and you go to 200, that's 100%. But the Gemara calls it 50%. Bezdin, Omar Meir Shmei Rabbi Yosef, Bezdin Shemachru B'lo Achraza. If the Bezdin didn't announce it, there's no public auction. Nasu Kimi Shato B'Dvar Mishnah V'Choizim. It's as if they didn't make a mistake in the Mishnah. It's as if they made a mistake in Mishnah. Now, what did they sell it for? What was the price? The price was a beautiful price. It's the going rate. This field is worth $100. They sold it for $100, not a penny less. It's batal mevutal. Why? Because you didn't do a public auction. I don't know exactly. Maybe could have got more. Maybe some American French guy comes and gives you $10 million for your $100,000 apartment in Eretz Yisrael. It happens sometimes. Maybe. You have to put it on a public auction. Nasu. What do you mean Nasu? Why is it as if you made a mistake in a Mishnah? Vadito. This is a Mefurish Mishnah that you have to do Achraza. You have to do a public auction. It's not. If Bezdin are selling property for the Yisayim to pay off debt, V'shuma Hegdesh, or you're selling something for Hegdesh, Shishim Yom. So for Yisayim, you have to be machris for 30 days for Hegdesh. You're selling something off for Hegdesh. They have, I don't know, somebody donated a nice piece of art to Hegdesh. You have to give a 60-day auction. So anyways, it's a Mefurish Mishnah that you have to do Achraza. What do you mean it's like you missed the Mishnah? It's not like you missed the Mishnah. Says maybe it's only talking about a shliach, but not the Bezdin themselves. Okay. Says by us, if they made a mistake by 16.6%, either they took less money or more than that, 16% more, 60% less, Michram batal is batal. But it seems like it's exactly 16.6%, not a penny more or less. It's only because they went above. It's mashma. That's me. Mazin.
101.
No, something happened. Mazin. It's a knas. I have to give 101. That's it. I have to give 101. Wow. That never happened before. But it was. What is it? It's not a phone call. I don't know what it was. But that's not what my alarm sounds. We'll have to check it out after shir what that was. No, my thing is on mute. I don't have. It never goes loud. Okay.
God sent a sign.
Gary, what are you doing? What are you doing to me? You're messing with me, huh? Only Gary knows how to go. You did something. Okay. There's one person here that has the code to my phone, the code to my computer, the code to my bank account, and he's good with computers. Very dangerous. One day he texts me, he goes, "Why are you wearing that funny shirt?" Like he's on my video camera in my house. Yeah, no, I'm just fixing something I happened to see. Hashava b'shava michrim kayam. Oh, it seems like there's no achraza, nothing, and it's exact 16.6%. It's good. My la'av delay achros. So you see from here that it's kayim. Loy b'da achros. They made out. You see that they don't do. You don't need achraza. Loy b'da achros. There was achraza. Says Gemara, that can't be. How about the same b'da achros? The same kind of question we had yesterday. Once the end of the Mishnah is talking about achraza, so then the reisha has to be something different. Reisha b'loy achros. Why? Diktani seifa im also igeres bikaris. We said in the Mishnah it says igeres bikaris, and we explain what does that mean. It's some sort of document like in a newspaper. It means there's a public auction, achraza. Once you do achraza, it doesn't matter if they made a mistake. Everybody knows the price and it's good. So obviously the reisha is where there's no achraza. So you don't need to do achraza. You're right. There's no achraza. Oh, but we just said that if you don't do achraza and you sell, what happens? Batal u'mevotel kafir da'ara. And our Mishnah says it's good. There's certain things you don't do achraza, and certain things you do achraza. Our Mishnah is talking about things that you don't do achraza on them. Havadim, metaltalin, slaves, movable objects, documents that so-and-so owes money. You don't have to do achraza for those. And that's what the Mishnah is talking about. That's why it works even without achraza. Why not? About the time of Mai, oops. It only lasts for about an hour. After an hour falls. Okay. Shema Yishmu b'yivruchu. A slave here, he's about to change ownership. He likes his owner. He's been with the guy for 50 years. He runs away. Mitaltalin. Okay, fine. I'll say it because it's Moed. A guy sees a kid trying to reach the bell and ring the bell. So he says, he goes, he'll be a nice guy. He goes, helps him. And the kid turns around and starts walking. He says, what do you say when somebody helps you? He says, now's not a time to say anything. Now's the time to run. Shema yivrechu. Shema yishmu v'yivrechu. The Eved runs. Metalton l'shtarois. I didn't think anybody would care for that one. Metalton l'shtarois. Shema yignevu. It rings a bell in you. It rings a bell. You know what I'm talking about.
You have bad ideas here.
Huh?
You have bad ideas here.
Yeah. What? Bad idea. No, you're bar mitzvah already. How old are you? Yeah, you don't do that stuff anymore. Metalton l'shtarois. You know all the ideas before me. Metalton l'shtarois. What's your name, by the way? Marks? From? You're here by yourself or with your father? Oh, you live here. Ah, okay, come every day. Give him a Gemara or somebody. Never. You know what? Here, you don't need this, right? Hey, good guy. Yeah, Mechila. It's the holy honor. It's about something about Moed. I'm on a roll. I'm asking everybody. It's right after Yom Kippur. It's a clean slate. It's time to make fun of everybody. Yeah. All right, everybody say Mo Kambisho. Okay, no. So metal and stars, real quickly. If you put it on public display, people could come, like in a museum. They're going to chop it and run away with it. So you don't want to put it on public auction. Everybody say Mo Kambisho shemachrizin, Kambisho shemachrizin. The first teretz is we're talking about items that are not good for achraza, like a slave. Now we're talking about karka, but sometimes this karka is not a good time to do a public auction. For instance, if somebody dies and you have to bury him today, you don't do a public auction. Shalom Aleichem, you're going to wait 30 days now for a public auction? You just sell the karka, you raise cash quickly and you bury. Remember this Gemara for the head count. Rabbi's brother used to buy these up and he used to make them schlep his carriage. For the mezainas of a woman or the kvura and to bury somebody, she has to eat today. She's not going to wait 30 days to eat. And for burial, you don't do achraz. Everybody saying another pshat. Okay, our mission is talking about a place, no achraz. They never used to do achraz in Arda. The Talmidim thought, the reason why in the Harda they never did achraz is because they didn't need it. Everybody knew the values. I heard from Nachman, they didn't want to be known as people that take advantage of the Yisayim. Yisayim come, they put the properties on the public auction block, and you come and you're buying off, like for instance, Bismanenu, some people are told not to buy things on short sales and that sort of thing, where there's a family, let's say, that's not doing well and not able to pay the mortgage, go to the bank, do a deal with the bank, and chop their house away. People are going to talk about you. And sure, what you just stole, you took a house. I'm not going into halacha if it's mutter or not. I'm just saying I've heard people getting yelled at in shul. But over here, it's very interesting because these people in our dah, they want to be tzaddikim. They don't want to be known as people that take advantage of the yasim. But sometimes when you're a tzaddik like that, it's like a oiber tzaddik. You're too much of a tzaddik. You're hurting the yasim at the end of the day. When people are not bidding on these properties and you're not doing a public auction, the yasim suffers. Nobody else suffers but the yasim. He's going to get the lowest price. So sometimes it's not kedai. Oh, don't call me this and I'm going to take it. No, go to the auction. Bid it up so the yasim can get good money. So, Omer of Yosef. No. Omer of Yud, Omer Shmuel. We're going to go to the Mishnah Beis Hashem. Omer of Yud, Omer Shmuel. Metaden sheyisoyim sham moisam moichem moisam la'alter. When the father leaves them a pile of tomatoes, sell it immediately. Don't go to auction. Rav Chizda Omer Avimi moichem moisam shvakim. No, wait for the market to happen. V'loy pligi. No machlokes. Ho the mekarev shuka. Ho the merachik shuka. If you have to wait 6 months to get to the marketplace, obviously you're not going to wait. Sell it today. But if you have some tomatoes and the market is happening in 2 days, so you a little patience will get you more money. Rav Kahana, huh? Yeah, metalton, but that spoil. Metalton that get bad. Things that go, money that goes bad, anything that goes bad, anything that you have to go now. Rav Kahana have it biyodi shichra. Here, beer. He had beer. There are mishayir shir b'chilkoi yasma. He had the beer of Yosef. Shayad rigla. He waited all the way to Yontif. Omar and his svara was Avgav enough of the bay. It could spoil. Maisi zuza charifa. It's going to bring good cash. It's going to bring good cash. So the famous, I said this, but it's kedai. It's Yontif. The Chaim says that the famous marshal, a guy comes to him. He says, "I'm a baker, and it's not going well. I make donuts and things, and people come, they look at it, they touch it, they don't like it, they put it down. I'm left with half my schar, nobody's buying. I don't have a good parnassa." Forgot what the Chavetz Chaim told him. He says, Kosh Baruch Hu gives parnassa, something like that. Kosh Baruch Hu gives parnassa. And then the war broke out, and there was a big shortage of flour and goods. So whatever he made, it doesn't matter, burnt stuff, unappetizing, everything he made, he sold quickly, and he sold it for a lot of money. Says the Chavetz Chaim that we're living in a generation of machsor. How do you say machsor in English? There's a lack. There's a shortage. There's a shortage of people that daven nicely. There's a shortage of people that learn well. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is chapping up our tefillas, our shvachat tefillas, with all the daydreaming and our Daf Yomi that we do quickly. HaKadosh Baruch Hu chaps it. He's chapping. It's not a generation that everybody knew how to daven well and everybody knew how to learn well. We're in that generation, so we shouldn't look down at ourselves, but our tefillah and our Torah. Here, it could spoil, the Gemara says. It could spoil. But you know what? It's better to have the spoiled stuff in the shuk where people are chapping. They're chapping. Zog the Gemara. Ravina have a biyodei chamra, the Ravina zute yasma barachase. He had in his possession the wine of his nephew. Have a lididei nami chamra. He also had wine. Have a komasikle lesichra. He wanted to bring his wine and sell it in sichra. Also come there Rav Ashi. Omar le ma'olam tu'i ba'adan. So he asked Rav Ashi, very interesting, according to Rashi. Do I have to worry that the ship is going to go down? You imagine in those days, every other ship went down. Am I allowed to take wine that I don't own? I want to help the Yosef, my nephew, but I'm taking a risk. So what does he tell him? Amalei, zil, no problem, go. If you're going to take the risk on yourself, you don't have to be more of a tzaddik on his thing than you're doing for your own goods. You're going to take that risk on your wine. You can take that risk on his wine. Have a Gevaldige Shabbos, good Yontif, Motsei Shabbos 9:30 in Yerushalayim, in Nesivos Aron. You can also put it in ways in Nesivos Aron. You'll get there as well. Yishkoyach. Shnayim Migarech Targum.